Welcome back to the Road to a Million podcast. Today I'm with Aaron Hyatt, owner of AZ Car Detailing in Geelong, Australia. And today Aaron is going to tell us his story on how he started his car detailing business after over 30 years in government work. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how business is going today. These guys took a little bit of inspiration from the podcast and started incorporating more personality on their social media. And it has really been paying off for them. So we're going to talk about all that on this week's episode. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget, you can use the timestamps in the description to skip ahead. And without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, today I'm with AZ Car Detailing, Aaron. Aaron, thanks for joining me on the podcast, man.
Josh, absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, dude. You're all the way out in North Geelong, Australia, which is, like you were saying, was the farthest south you can go in Australia.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a state below us called Tasmania, but mainland Australia, we're at the very bottom, and about 1 hour from Melbourne. You may have heard of Melbourne. Yeah, so right down the bottom. Yeah.
What's the climate like down there?
It's the coolest part of Australia. So, but in summer, very, very hot. So in the Celsius, 40 degrees. I think that's well over 100 for Fahrenheit. But in the winter, it gets down to 0. But yeah, we have two extremes here down south of Australia. It can get very hot, but also very cold. So winter, I mean, it's not as cold as some places. We do occasionally hit 0, 1, 2 degrees, and that lasts for 3 months. But then when our summer ramps up, it's consistently high 20s, 30s, some days into the 40s, which is really hot. I'm trying to work out what that might be in Fahrenheit because I know that's what you guys. So that's up over 100 degrees. So yeah, we've got a bit of everything down here, and Melbourne, which is an hour away, is known for 4 seasons in one day. It could be anything, but up north of Australia, it's warm all the time. But we unfortunately don't get that. We've got to suffer the cold.
And is it flipped from the US? So is it wintertime in like May, June, July?
Spot on. Yep. December, January, February is our summer. Yeah, spot on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
How did you find the podcast?
So I'm a sponge for learning, and when I've got a goal, I suppose, or something that I'm interested in, I just want to learn. So I will spend a lot of time on YouTube or Google or ChatGPT, and I think I came across you guys on Spotify when I was just in the search bar putting detailing, auto detailing, PPF, ceramic coating podcast. I've got and I found you guys, and I found about 3 or 4 others that I listen to regularly. So yeah, I can say that I think I have listened to every one of your episodes, and I'm slowly making my way through your YouTubes, a day in the life, and I think I was saying a week or so ago, Josh, that I grab a little nugget out of each one, and I can hand on heart say that I've implemented a few of those things in my day-to-day operations, and with success. So I'm always refreshing, waiting and clicking on the newest episode, waiting for the next one to come out and have a listen. So yeah, great work, mate.
Well, thank you. So what golden nuggets have you taken away from the podcast and implemented into your business that you feel like has been helpful?
Yeah, there was one in particular. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but it links back to the whole customer experience and the customer journey, and it's not just about taking the keys and handing them back and sort of moving away from the transaction. So it was around, and I think he used the terminology showing the customer how the sausage is made or something like that in the background. And so I was texting or SMSing my customers throughout the day. I'd give them, I think, a morning update, end of day update on how we've gone. But he did the idea of getting on camera, showing the customer the car, showing the lads working on the car, what stage they're at, what's coming up next. And I had some overwhelming feedback that our customers just loved being able to see what was going on with their car. It's obviously a big investment having car protection done, but to see that the car's in good hands, that there's two people working on it, that it's looking lovely and glossy, and that they know exactly where the day is at, was such a positive thing for us. And yeah, great feedback. So yeah, that was one that definitely jumps out. There was, and Josh, I think I may have mentioned it to you that um, the social media stuff is a big thing for us, and you're one of the first that I saw that sort of was moving away from the traditional. Here's a car that we polished and protected, and it looks nice, doesn't it? And that's it. But more moving away to showing the human side and building rapport and trust and respect with our customers. So yeah, they're two off the top of my head that I think we've implemented successfully with great feedback.
What what has been the feedback from your clients about the social media in particular?
Yeah, it's and we have a videographer that spends some time with us, and we've worked together for probably for 18 months or so, I think. And at the start we were doing just really cool videos on polishing and coating cars, and they looked unreal, but to the average punter out there, it was just okay, I suppose. So we kept on talking about how do we get in behind the scenes and show the personalities of the people who work there. And back in the day, it was my nephew Benny who works with us. It was a lot of it was banter between the two of us, and so that banter was on film. Some, um, I cop some hate for it on particular platforms about treating the kid badly and whatnot. But little did they know, he's my nephew, and it was a little bit hammed up, but some of it was factual. But yeah, so we then built on that because the feedback from that banter and seeing what happens behind closed doors, people just love. So we built on that, and we've gone down the track a little bit, I suppose, of the show The Office. Back in the day, about taking a camera inside and showing what happens throughout the day, but also then take the staff behind closed doors and ask for their views on how the day's gone, or how's Aaron going, or how's Benny going, that kind of thing. And we're doing like episodes now, so we're running it as like a series. Um, our views have gone up big time on all the platforms. The feedback has been fantastic. I know for a fact that we've got plenty of work out of it. Whilst we're not there's no sales tactics involved in the videos at all. It's about showing that I think so, we're good fellas. We have a bit of fun. We don't take ourselves too serious, but at the same time, we filter into those videos that, geez, these guys do really good work. And it's across all the different protection niches, I suppose. So coating, PPF, window tint, they actually know what they're doing, and we want to be front of mind for when a customer needs car protection. So if you buy a new car in our area, we want to be the number one choice, and we want to be known for one-stop shop for car protection. I think these videos have built us a really nice platform.
That's awesome, man. That's so cool to hear. Yeah, I feel like with anything, consistency is key. And like at first, it's going to feel a little bit weird doing new videos like
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
And it may be you're not going to get business out of it within the first month. It's going to take some time, but then once you get a little bit more comfortable on camera and your guys get a little bit more comfortable on camera and you kind of figure out your rhythm, and your customers start actually like tuning in, like watching a little bit more, and they start seeing you pop up. They're like, oh, these guys aren't going anywhere. Uh,
yeah,
that's whenever it starts to pay off.
yeah. Spot on. And even 6 months ago, 9 months ago, when the videographer come in and throw us the microphone, the boys would cringe, and I did a little bit as well. But now it's a part of the rhythm, I suppose, and there's no pushback. It's just chuck it on, let's do our thing. Because I think even the boys are now starting to see with business ramping up, and they're hearing directly from customers that they'll come in and they'll identify Benny or Phil or Nick by name and go, "That video last night was unreal. I can't believe you did that." And it's sort of, I think, a bit of a buzz for them as well that, um, they they'll go into shops now and be recognised and whatnot. So they're starting to become little mini socialites, I suppose, in our local area. And yeah, it's starting to pay dividends. And the biggest thing for us is coming to work knowing we're going to have some fun, but at the same time do some really good work on some lovely cars, and we love it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That's do you guys try to show both like the professional side of things, and then also like obviously the humor and stuff like that too, and how do you balance?
yeah, it's a good question. And I think we use the Instagram stories for our day to day, which is a little bit, well, it is. It's a little bit more serious. It's a little bit more educational. It's about stepping our audience through what's our day look like. What are we doing? Well, we're doing window tint, and here's us, the boys on the plotter, and our software, and just again giving people a little bit of a look behind the scenes. But it's a bit educational as well. Why are we doing that step? Why are we doing a decontamination or what, you know? Um, so our Instagram stories get some really good engagement as well. And then, yeah, we leave the reels more for the polished entertainment, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, and people, we've heard the same before. People do business with people, and I think
Yeah.
that when people get a step inside your shop for a few minutes, whenever you record these videos, and they get to kind of become a part of the team and get to know the team, um, and still still see the nice cars that you guys are working on and the good reviews.
Yeah.
I think that it really does it does something for your customers and people maybe that aren't customers yet, but they've just kind of been checking out your stuff. And I today I just had someone that filled out a lead. They were a lead. They filled out a form on an ad asking about window tint on their 2020 Tundra TRD Pro. And when I called him, he knew exactly who I was. And he said, I saw your video when you first moved into your new shop. That was 2.5 years ago. And he hasn't
Yeah.
been a customer since. And it
Yeah.
took him 2.5 years after he saw that video.
Yeah.
And then he saw our lead form or our ad and filled out a form. And I just booked him for a $750 window tint job.
Yeah. You're front of mind. It's embedded in there. It mightn't be tomorrow, but yeah, 2.5 years time, because of that work you did back then and your videos and education. Yeah, it will happen. It will happen. And that's what we've got to keep reminding ourselves. You might spend good money on nice videos and no leads come in for a week, but they will come. They will come. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a commitment to, it's not just something we're going to do for a little bit. I think that's an important thing that we recognize too, is like, this is something we need to truly commit to.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Is your
have to.
videographer, is he full time?
So he's got a business. It's funny. His niche is construction site videography. So he'll go out with tradesmen, painters and plumbers and electricians, and film their day and do similar type videos. And I've got a friend of his who put me onto him 2 years ago, whatever it was. I said, mate, I'm not really a tradie. I've got a car detailing business. And he said, yeah, let's have a crack. So he's sort of branching out a little bit from his traditional niche, but he is full time, and his growth has been unbelievable. Like the quality of the videos and the editing he can do. Yeah, I'm just blessed to have him.
Does he come one day a week?
It varies. We've ramped up his hours. It's pretty much once a month. Like he'll come in and do, well, the last month was three 3 hour slots over 3 different
Mhm.
days, so we could get some different cars and different footage and whatnot. So I think for us, that's the best formula that we've had, the variation in the videos he's been able to do and different content. So yeah, 3 3 hour slots, or it might have been three and two, and that got us about 15 to 20 videos for that month.
That's cool. So I know we kind of skipped over this, but whenever you first started back in 2021, it was
Yep.
kind of a something that you started up as like a side hustle after being a government worker for 30 years.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it was just so. Yep, sorry.
well, I just thought it was really interesting that you you kind of got into it because you were interested in ceramic coatings on a car that you had just bought,
Yep,
and everyone that you called, it was like non-existent, and you're like, well, there might be an
yep,
opportunity here.
yeah, exactly right. Um, I wasn't necessarily. This may sound really weird, and uh, up until now, I hadn't had any real interest in cars whatsoever. Um, People talk about cars, and I switch off, and I'd rather talk about something else. And um, the only accidental way I got tipped into this business was, yeah, I bought a new car and I'd heard about ceramic coatings and I sort of look after my car and I wanted to give it protection, well, because it was a new car. And I rang virtually the only place in Geelong, in my town, that was doing ceramic coatings. And they spoke to me for 1 minute and it felt rushed and felt as though that I was in the way of their work. And oh, could someone call me back? It's sort of new to me. I've got so many questions, and they never called me back. And I thought, how hard can it be? Let's have a go. So I investigated and I found out that ceramic coating are usually done by car detailers, and then thought, well, how do I do ceramic coating? How do I get my hands on that coating? Well, you've got to become certified. You've got to do paint correction, a little course. And so I arranged it with a gentleman who ran these courses and had a particular brand of ceramic coating. And it was rushed. It was 2 days. I'd never used a polisher before, and I went up to Melbourne and we had to go on the polisher. And then at the end of I can't remember. I don't even think I could do it very well. And then on the second day, we got a certificate say you're certified in paint correction, and you can now use this particular ceramic coating. I went, wow. So I went home. I did my own car. It had about 40 high spots on it. It was horrible. It was just terrible. So then I got on YouTube and I had to do a whole lot more research. And I thought, well, I'll get into this detailing as well. And at that time, I took leave without pay from the public service government job. And I
Mhm.
thought, well, while I'm on leave without pay, I'll just have a bit of a muck around in the garage, and started doing, like everyone, friends and family. And I loved it, absolutely loved it. I love detailing, I love polishing, I love getting cars from here and making it, getting it nice and glossy. And I thought, this is really cool. This is so much better than working for the man and, being bound by policy and legislation and all that rubbish. So I opened a Facebook page up and my friends started leaving reviews. And then all of a sudden it just started going nuts. It, I was booked out 2 weeks on my own. I thought, what do I do here? So my young nephew was in year 10. He was, I think grade 10 or whatever at the time. So 15, 16 years of age. Young Benny, who fast forward to now is, elite at what he does. And he came around every day and helped me, and we worked on cars together and whatnot. Fast forward a few months, I had the opportunity to take a voluntary redundancy from my government job. And I thought, well, if there's ever a time to do it, now's the time to do it. Get a little payout on the side. And that allowed me to have a little bank there to get a workshop with another friend who was a mechanic who was doing the same thing. So we shared a workshop for 6 months. It was brand new. He had his hoist up the front, doing dirty mechanical work, whereas my lighting and everything and my flooring was at the back, wasn't ideal. Um, but it served its purpose for both of us. And I outgrew that shop within 6 months, brought on another employee, Nick, who's an old friend of mine. And we then had to find a new workshop within 6 months. And we're now at the point, we've been in this new one for a year and we're bursting at the seams again. I've brought on another employee. So we've got four of us plus a fifth one who is casual. And yeah, we're at the point now where I've got to work out what I want to do, because Josh, back when I was doing it at home, it was going to be a side gig until I tape it off into retirement. But it's actually gone the other way, where we've just taken on more work, more niches, more protection options for customers. The social media has grown. So do we try and cap it? Do I grow it even more? Do I get another location? All that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a good position to be in, and I'm having fun, and so are the boys, which is the main thing.
That's cool, man. When did you learn paint protection film and window tinting?
Yeah, I knew. So we've done ceramic coatings for a number of years now, and and we were getting a lot of questions around from customers around, do you do window tint? No. Do you do PPF? No. And it was very evident in my area there is no one-stop shop for all those particular services. So if you wanted your car coated, you'd have to go to that shop and then another shop to have it tinted, another shop for your paint protection film. So I just saw a real opportunity there, and we trained Benny, and then down the track Phil up in window tinting. So that was probably a year ago. And then about 9 months ago, still getting loads of questions around paint protection film, and there's only one other place in our area that does it. So we thought, might as well bite the bullet and have a crack. And yeah, as you know, Josh, with window tinting, there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of sleepless nights. But I think the PPF side of things has taken that to a new level. And you know, when we took on PPF, we got told, and I scoffed at it and laughed, that you'll blow $20,000 or $30,000 worth of film in that first year. And I thought, there was no way known. It can't be that hard. Well, I think we've blown 20,000 in 9 months. To be honest, maybe more. And the stress and the tension and whatnot about trying to get it perfect, and redos and ripping film off and customer satisfaction. It's been a stress, but I think we're slowly breaking the back of it. We could have given up so many times, but we've just said we just got to keep on going. We've got to keep on going with this. And yeah, so 9 months in PPF and probably a year in window tint, and we're just starting to get a little bit more comfortable with it. Well, a
Yeah.
lot more comfortable. Sorry. Yeah.
So, is there anything looking back at the last 9 months to a year, even with Tint as well, that you feel like maybe you would have done differently just to try to slightly reduce just the load and the stress on you guys, or like setting better expectations for customers? Or is it just something that everyone has to, if you're going to learn this stuff, it's just something you're going to have to deal with?
Yeah, so it's a great question, and yes, I would do things a little bit differently. That we had I think Benny went through 2 days training where a guy came to us. It was okay, and then we had some more in-house training. Uh, but and it was my responsibility as a business owner. I'd probably let Benny down, that we then didn't do enough reinforcement with him. And what I should have done was sent him to spend time in another shop, you know, for at least a week, to be able to reinforce, be able to get some hands on. But we just sort of got a couple of cars in sporadically. So it might have been one this week, one next week. And that's enough volume to allow Benny to reinforce what he had learnt. So I let him down a bit there. So that's what I would do, is just throw, and I know it's money and I know it's time and no bookings in your shop, but I would have sent him to someone that is very good at their craft and paid them money, allowed him to sit with and shadow, but also be hands-on for as long as he needed to come back and be much more comfortable. That's the biggest takeaway that I've had with window tint. And same with PPF. PPF is a whole different beast, but yeah, same thing.
Yeah, it's hard talking to customers and knowing like uh you're not quite at the level you want to be at, but still
Yeah,
trying to get jobs in the door so that you could stay
spot on,
familiar with it. So
spot
tough,
on.
man.
Yeah. And and some advice was given to us, and I'm still, let the customer know that you're in that sort of learning phase still. Maybe don't charge as much, and maybe say that it may not be perfect, but it just doesn't sit all that well with me. I know customers probably wouldn't care, but hey, you might have a speck of contaminant here or there, or whatnot. It just doesn't sit all that well with me. And right now, we still haven't advertised PPF much. We've just let it, I suppose, organically come through the door, where people have asked us, yep, we can do it. This is where we're at. Or we're offering those high traffic areas like the B pillars, the door sills, the boot entry. Um, but it's amazing how many people will walk through the door, see our website, and just ask the question, you don't do PPF as well? Yeah, we do. And we'll get a job out of it just through conversation. But I just don't want to go whole of bolus and advertise heavily, because I just don't think we're at the point to take the volume on just yet. So
Hmm.
it's steady
Are
as
these
she goes.
people? Yeah, I think that's I think that's a good way to do it too. Because then that allows you, especially if they're the ones bringing it up, it allows you then to really be like, well, we do PPF, but are we the greatest installers? No. And therefore, we're going to give you a little bit of a price break. At the end of the day, we're going to make sure that you're happy with it. If you're not happy with it, this is how we do it at our shop. If you're not
Yep.
happy with it, then you don't pay. Um, but we're going to do our best. And I want you to know going into this that like we still are new to this, or even sometimes now if we take on like a really hard job, um, and like it's so funny because Jeremy, who I know that we have bought out his book of business, and he is the guy that's going to be training us how to do PPF. Um, and he's been doing PPF since 2014. And even him, with as much experience as he has, even he will look at some cars and go, that car is hard. And I have to set an expectation with the customer that this will not be perfect. And so
Yep.
it's interesting to hear someone that's been around for that long still saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've had to turn cars down where I can just tell the front bumper's too complex for us, too complex. So yeah, we're sort of trying to sort of stick to the more. Well, none of them are really basic, but yeah. And we've gone and we've got the software, we've got the plotter, which has been fantastic. So yeah, I'm just really conscious that, like I do maybe a bit with the window tint, that we don't want to be pushing it out there too much. I just want it to be organic, and which is working really well. Like we're doing one job a week PPF at the moment, like usually a front end, and they're going pretty well. So getting more
Are
confident
these
each time.
people are these people coming in for ceramic coatings or like window tinting and then asking about PPF?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Either asking for PPF straight up, or like the one we're doing tomorrow was a ceramic coating job on a 4-wheel drive we did the other day. But after the fact, he spoke to me about PPF. Said we actually do it, and he said, "Well, I want to get it done." I said, "We can do it." So we're bringing it back into PPF the front end, then ceramic coat over the top of the PPF. So it's a pretty, I think, an untapped opportunity in my area, because we've got a lot of 4-wheel drives, a lot of off-roading, that kind of thing. So that the whole taking your car out bush and having it protected and pinstriping, I just think it's untapped, and we've got a big opportunity ahead.
Mm-hmm. The best thing that I like about being able to offer all those things in house is that we're not selling any one thing. And I even see this now with shops that do offer all these services, but like they're kind of biased towards one or the other because it pads their pocket more. But you have to listen to the customers, and like PPF is not for everyone. I just talked to two people today that were ceramic coating customers, but they were not PPF customers. One of the guys was like, I do not want a film on my car. I hate that idea. There's going to be some kind of I'm going to be able to tell it's there. It's going to get beat up. I don't want it. Um, and like it's like okay, cool enough, and good ceramic coating customer though.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Um, we usually get into the conversation when, and as you would know, there's still that myth or belief out there that ceramic coatings can offer physical protection. So I spent a lot of time saying we need to bust some myths here before you commit to it, because there's a lot of things a ceramic coating won't do, but it's also some positives. So we step through that. And I said, if the physical stuff is something that's important to you, and you go up north of Australia and you're going to go on big bush trips, then the paint protection film might be an option. And we sold jobs just clarifying the difference between the two protection, and people
Yeah.
jump at PPF because that's what they want, but they thought ceramic would give it to them. So yeah,
Yeah, that's a great idea. Um, you don't even have to. You just ask questions. You don't even have to like bring up PPF directly. You literally
mm,
just ask someone that's interested in the ceramic coating. Hey, do you just want you to know? Did you know that the coating does not protect against rock chips and scratches? Oh, I
yep,
didn't know that. That's kind of why I was wanting it. It's like, well,
yeah,
we do have an option that provides protection against that. But it would be a film. It'd be the paint protection film.
yep,
So
yep. So yeah, that's how it's all rolling at the moment. It's going well, and I think in a couple of months' time we will ramp up the advertising into 2026. So we're just being calculated about it.
Yeah, I think that's smart. Do you
Mm.
guys run any ads at all right now?
Yeah, we I don't run any Google ads. Sort of lucky enough that our work in the background with SEO and our Google reviews were sitting at number one. So I get a lot of work through Google, I suppose organically, but I am paying for SEO in the background. So that's working well. And we're running meta ads at the moment for coatings only and just about to start some window tint ads as well. So I've got um, a guy who does a great job, Daniel at DM Design Studio. He's an Australian fellow based in Dubai. Um, and he does a lot of work for a lot of detailers, in particular in Australia. So he looks after my website, my SEO, and my meta ads. And um, just, yeah, just blessed to have him as well. So yeah, we're running meta ads. And I was running them for some months and going okay, but the part I quickly realised is that I couldn't pinpoint my return on investment from ads. It was all anecdotal. Oh yeah, we're getting work through the ads, but I couldn't pinpoint it. So I needed someone to come in and put some science behind it, test ads, optimize ads, and get a lot smarter about it and spend money more wisely. Which I was just sort of, I think, blowing money willy nilly and hoping that we would get leads out of it. So
What kind of
just
changes
so
have you
goes
made
the
to
yep.
what?
So since bringing him on,
Yeah.
yeah, it's mainly about testing the ads that work, and what's the style of video. We're not running photo ads, but they're all video ads. But what's the style? So we've got about 4 or 5 on the go at the moment, I think, and we're meeting with Daniel shortly about, well, over the past 2 weeks, which of the ones that have had the most views, given us the most leads. We're currently retargeting at the moment, so people that have clicked on us on our ads or gone to our website. So we're just doing a video um, of me talking directly to those customers. So we're going to see how the retargeting goes. I'm pretty stoked and excited to see how that goes. So yeah, there's a video of an older version of me next to a new version of me. The AI has made my face old, and I talk to them and say, I've been sitting here for years waiting for you to pick up the phone and call me from that ad, that kind of thing. So, and then the current me talk, we turn heads and talk to each other, the old me and the new me, and we're hoping, and I tell the old me to be quiet and leave the customer alone. They'll come when they're ready, that kind of thing. So we're going to see how that goes.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah, just trying different stuff, but yeah, it just sort of proves that at the start, that one of the biggest learnings that I had is you need a stable of people in your corner that do all the different things in the background. And I think we've got to a point where I've got it. So you've got to. I thought I could do it all, and very quickly, Fang, leave the jobs for the experts. Like you've got to have your good accountant, your good bookkeeper, my videographer. I'm blessed with my SEO website, Daniel. I'm blessed to have him. Um, all those people around you and are freeing you up the time to concentrate on your business and make sure your people are happy and your customer experience is top notch. So that's one of the biggest things that I've done. Yeah, it costs money, but you make that back, in spades.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Was that your idea for that video or was that his idea?
So he actually has run something similar for his. So he runs a marketing company and he did it himself and he told me and I thought that's awesome and his was just a photo of an old him and a new him, but I thought I'm going to do a video of the old me talking and new me talking, and so yeah, it was his idea, and I just think that's pretty cool.
So have you seen any results from that yet, or is this like brand new that you guys just started?
Yeah, it's it. Last couple of days. I think it's just started, so I'll find out over the next few days how that's going. So yeah, I'll let you know if we have success. That's something we could spread around other details that it hopefully will work.
Yeah. Yeah. There's got to be something to that because Stephen Lee, who's helped me with our marketing, he had suggested directly calling out people that have watched your ad, like on the retargeting video, like saying like, "Hey, I know you saw my last video," and
Yeah.
then go into like something like, "Hey, we've got this special going on right now for Black Friday." Just something to like catch their attention. It's like, "Oh yeah, I did see his last video. This guy's talking to me."
Um, his name's escaped me. It's one of the biggest marketers in the world, I reckon. It might be King Kong or something like that. He does that, and actually, you're taken a bit back. Like he gets in the camera and he goes, "I know you clicked on my ad last week, and I know you got to this page, and you go, whoa, that's cool." And he's been so close to sucking me into signing up a few times by that retargeting. But I've just said go for a walk, don't click, don't sign anything yet. But I think it works. It works. It's
Yeah,
personalized. Yeah.
yeah. So no Google ads, but been running Meta ads. And how much are you spending per month on Meta ads?
I think I'm at about 300 a week at the
Okay.
moment. Yeah. Um, and next week, yeah, like I said, we'll optimize and work out which ones are performing more strongly and throw a little bit more at those ones and reduce the others. And we'll we'll introduce a window tint ad next week, which we've filmed. So that will start up. So yeah, about 300 a week,
Mm-hmm. What
and
did that
hopefully
window
ramp that
tint
up.
ad look like?
Yeah, it was just me, in our studio. We had a beautiful C8 Corvette that we tinted, and it's just me walking past the car towards the camera to say, we've just window tinted this beautiful C8 Corvette. These are the benefits this customer will now have around heat rejection, UV, and and to top it off, it looks cool. If you'd like your car window tinted, click on the link below, something like that. Yeah, just some of the benefits, a cool car, and yeah, me standing next to the car, walking towards the camera. So, but I'm going to try a few different type of videos for window tint. You know,
Man,
summer's coming
customer
up, that kind of thing.
testimonial video has worked really well for us.
I heard you say that. Yeah. So I'm going to look at that as well. Definitely. Yeah.
It takes a certain kind of customer. They've got to be comfortable with you, and ideally, it'd be like a repeat customer,
Yeah.
um, someone that you kind of know. But yeah, I think that ad alone has contributed tens of thousands of dollars in business.
Unreal. Yeah.
So
Right. So is that running at the moment, Josh? Because is that on like the Facebook ad library? Like, could we have a look at that
yeah, you can.
video? Yeah. Cool. Might have a look at that. So I'm
Yeah,
going to try
yeah,
it.
just
Yeah. Try it.
yeah. For everyone listening, you can go look at everyone else's ads on Meta,
Mm,
just Facebook ad library.
yeah.
So yeah, in Austin, my brother, he was the one that asked the customer, and he did a great job. Like the video starts with him saying, "So out of every company, ceramic coating vehicles in Springfield, why'd you choose us?" And it was like the perfect intro, perfect amount of words. And the customer was like, "He's like, yeah, he's like, I don't know how many cars you guys have done for me, a few cars, and um, you guys are always do a great job, and I just want to protect my investment." And it was all organic. Like we didn't ask him to say any of it, and uh, it was like the perfect ad though. Like looking back.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Love it. Well, it's good.
Yeah,
This is why it's unreal. Forums like this, you get to share those nuggets with each other. Why hide that stuff? I think it's unreal. So I'm gonna shamelessly copy it,
yeah.
but
Please
obviously
do.
get a legit testimonial, of course.
Yeah, well, I think that they would recognize if you use my ad.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that would look weird.
It would look weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure someone's done that out there, but
yeah,
yeah, not a good idea. So you guys are up to doing $55,000 a month right now.
yeah, yeah,
Is this your
yeah.
busiest
And
time of year?
do you know what? And this is where I've got a lot of learning to do. Is that one area, and because I worked in the public service and government job for so many years, I have no real clue on how. Well, I've learned a lot. I didn't have any real clues on how to run a business properly, how to forecast, how to use my accounting software um, to the best of its ability. To where are there holes in the bucket? Where am I leaking money? that's a real gap and an opportunity for me, is to help understand where I'm spending money, because I'm spending a ton of money. 55 grand or 58 grand or whatever sounds impressive, but rest assured there's a fair bit of outgoings that are happening right now. But I couldn't, hand on heart, if you ask me, break down your outgoings, I don't have a good enough sense, say, on the last month of where it went. I've got a bit of an idea, but I couldn't pinpoint it. And I know I need to tighten up in a few different areas. Um, but at the same time, I know we've been operating for 3 years or 3.5 years. I'm still in that phase where I want to invest money back into the business to grow it. And I know that's happening, and I know the PPF example around blowing thousands of dollars worth of film is happening. We spend a bit of money on advertising, salaries, we've got 4 people, all that kind of thing. But I need to get a bit tighter and understand that a little bit more, that's for sure. But yes, it's going up. And just to answer your question, I don't know what month is our best month, but right now they're all going up. And I had a look before I came on today. We're on track again this month to around match that amount, hopefully. So, um, yeah, yeah, I've got to get a bit better at the science behind the numbers. That's for sure.
Did I put profit first on that list of books?
Uh, I don't know. Yes, you did. I'm pretty sure that's on there. Yeah, and
Okay,
thank you for that list of books too.
you're welcome. Yeah, I would recommend. That's a good book
Yep,
that talks about, regardless of where you're at in your business, to carve out a small amount. Sometimes it's as low as 2, 3%, but to carve out something for the profit. And like that's the concept of profit first, is always have a profit no matter where you're at, no matter if you're in the growth stage or you just started up, or you've been doing this for 10 years. Like obviously at that point hopefully you have profit, but you should always have a bucket that is some money's going into that, and that it goes into there first. And even if it's very small in the beginning, $55,000 a month, 3%, you're looking at a little bit over $1,500. Just put that aside into the profit bucket. That's first and foremost. We made money. The business made money out of
yep,
that 1,500.
yep, yeah. And I have to go into my zero accounting software to look up those months to see whether we made money or whether we lost money. And um, it's all, yeah, and it's all in one business account. It's just one pool of money. Um, so that's something I probably need to consider. But yeah, that's on my radar for next year, is to get better with those numbers.
And I think the book even talks about having separate bank accounts for every different way that you spend, like payroll
Yeah,
account, profit
yep,
account, taxes account.
yep, yeah. And the tax one hurts when that bill comes along. It's you think you're going along nicely, and yeah, you haven't put money into it. Yeah, like another bucket for that just comes out of that one account and hurts a bit. So I need to
What
do
is your
that.
tax rate out there?
So yeah, um, I couldn't tell you exactly what it is.
I
It's
don't know if it's
high,
higher. Yeah. I have heard Australia taxes are fairly high.
35, something like that.
Yeah.
It hurts.
I mean, do you have to pay taxes? Do you have to pay separate taxes on like a local level? So that's like federal and then a local.
No, no,
Okay.
just all federal. Yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
superannuation, which I think you
Let's
guys call, is it 401k or 401, like your
401k. That's retirement.
retirement? Yeah. So, excuse me, it's compulsory, which I 100% agree with. Is that I think it's something like 11.5% of the salary goes into the staff members' retirement fund,
Yeah.
um, and that's compulsory across Australia. So we pay that as well.
Okay. That's Social Security in America. That's what that would be.
Yeah, so our social security is separate. So you, upon retirement, if your income and assets are low enough, you could get an age pension. and then your superannuation is separate to that.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah. Yeah. The Social Security is required. 401k is optional.
gotcha. Yep. So you put money into people's social security future bucket,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You're required to, by law, to put
Yep,
a percentage of their payroll into the Social Security. But I don't know how it is out there, but there's no guarantee that anyone's going to get that here. And everyone kind of knows the money that they put into their Social Security in the United States, they may not be getting it back. That's just something I think if you meet with a financial advisor, they'll tell you that too. It's something that like you can kind of think about getting, but like, yeah, we maybe shouldn't plan for this. Unfortunately, a lot of Americans are dependent upon their Social Security for their
yeah.
retirement income, but um, yeah, there's just a lot of racket going on with that. But then the
Okay.
401k is like an actual retirement account that's optional. You can match it as an employer. So I could like, pay a certain percentage of their income, match their
Yep.
401k. Um,
Yeah, that sounds
so,
similar to what this is, but it's Australia's very big on having superannuation there for when you retire, and then hopefully you've built it up, and you won't have the need to be on an income support or social security payment like a pension.
mhm,
That's the idea.
sure. How old are you, Aaron?
51, 51. So
51?
this is my second job ever.
I know you said that you started the government job at 17.
Yeah, yep. As a youth trainee,
Wow.
and so we're 95% of people will work at McDonald's or a Subway or a petrol station just in those early years before getting into university or whatever. But I had this job before I finished the end of my high school exams, so I knew I was walking into that. So I went into that last exam feeling pretty good and no pressure. And yeah, it was only going to be a short job over summer until I got into university, which I did, and I just thought, come the time, I didn't really like school. I'm earning a few $100s a week. Why would I go back to school? So I stuck at it, and 30 years later, I'm still there. But
Mm.
yeah,
So, what does your day to day in the business look like?
it's a little random. I'm very big on returning lead contacts as soon as I can. So I think similar to you using Go High Level. So that was
Hmm.
one of the. I'm still getting my head around a lot of it, but a really positive implementation of getting that CRM system in. So I've got the automated replies and SMSs and whatnot. So we've set all that up. So a lot of that time of the morning for any leads that have come through overnight, I will contact the customers first thing. I try to do the meet and greets of customers who are dropping their cars off where possible. I think if I'm the face and the name behind the business, I think people like to talk to the owner sometimes about their car. They've just invested $90,000 on it. So I try to do that as much as I can. I try to be there for handover as well when I'm handing the car back. I try to do most of the intraday videos to the customers. Um, I'll be on the tools for a certain percentage of the day as well. So I'll polish or coat, um, a little bit of PPFing, that kind of thing. But not a big percentage. A couple of hours a day, I'll be on the phone to potential customers, following up leads, that kind of thing. So it's a little bit random, but the job also gives me flexibility to be able to take my kids to sport and whatnot. And my boys that work there they're elite at what they do. They're not only good technically and with their hands, but their people skills have developed so much over the last year that I can confidently walk away and know that um, the business is in good hands. Their people skills are second to none. So, yeah, my day's a bit random. It's whatever's required on the day, and yeah,
I'm trying to find that balance between having some structure in my day and also still being able to return lead forms quickly and just handle the problems that come up. Um, yeah, it's tough, especially when you are the
yeah,
salesperson.
yeah, and I think in our business environment, I think it's really hard. And I know some people do it, will schedule 15-minute blocks or an hour blocks in their day and pinpoint what they're going to do for the day. I just think the nature of the beast is it's rather random. We'll get walk-ins off the street. You can't say when you're going to get phone calls. You can't say when something might go wrong on a job, a customer complaint. Um, it's too random. And so I think we've got our rhythm. I'm there. My phone's always on for the boys in the shop. I'll always answer the phone 99% of the time if a customer calls. So it's working okay. And
Yeah.
my balance is good. Yeah.
I go back to that episode I did almost a year ago, probably a year ago, with Daniel from Dynamic Detailing. And he said that hiring a salesperson was one of the best things that he did. And it's a tough thing to do. Like, you really probably need to be at like the $750 million mark before you probably can do that. I mean, you could probably do it a little bit beforehand. Um, but like, man, it'd be tough to do it much afterwards. But I mean, you have to know yourself too. You have to know, like, am I going to be that person? Someone has to be that person. And is like, is
Yeah.
that my natural God given gift is to do? Am I a salesperson at heart, or am I more of like the visionary behind the scenes and I need to kind of delegate the sales role to someone else?
Funny you say that. I'm not a massive fan of the sales conversation. I don't particularly like it. I'm not particularly good at it. I'm good at explaining. I'm good at clarifying things, but there's something in me that's not always comfortable trying to push a sale. And my dream, Josh, is to get to a point where I can bring on someone that is elite in the sales conversation, where we've got enough leads coming in that I can justify having someone and they close out high percentage. A lot will be a lot higher percentage than that I can do. And you're right. I think I've got that creative thinking, the visionary thinking that I can take the business forward. But I think someone else could do a whole lot better at that conversation than I can. So yeah,
Do you think you're
it's
close?
something to have back in the mind. What's that? Sorry.
Do you think you're close to getting to hiring someone to do that?
Well, and that's I, I don't know. I don't think it'd be a full time role, and I don't. Would someone want to come on into a sales type role as a part time? I'm not. I'm not sure. There's obviously got to be a lot of training put into explaining our business and how it works, and obviously, but most of our sales calls are in the morning. So I've thought if I've got someone, I'd love to bring on someone for a few hours a day, maybe, but just not quite there yet. I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like with everything with a small business. Oftentimes, every role is a hybrid. You're doing a little bit
Yeah.
of social media. Maybe you bring in someone that's like kind of like social media guy, sales guy, also like front office guy. But there's got to be somewhat of a hybrid position there, because naturally with a
Yeah.
small business, you're not going to have a full time schedule for a salesperson right off the bat.
Yeah, and I've listened to a few of your episodes where you talk about your staff member, and her name's escaped me in the
Lorraine,
field. Who's that?
Lorraine.
Lorraine. Yes, and I thought, how cool is that? Someone that can be a bit of a virtual assistant, but also do a bit of editing for you. That's just awesome. And it's a bit of that hybrid role, and something that would be really cool, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell Lorraine all the time, I'm like, I'm just going to keep giving you more and more responsibilities until one day, you're going to
Yeah,
be full time working here.
yeah. Yeah. Has she got another role as well with like in another job, or is she purely you?
she no, she just purely does video editing. She's got like two other clients, um,
Okay.
but that's about all she can handle.
Yeah.
I mean, we're basically at the point where we've got enough work for her where she can handle like one or two other people, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just send her a bunch of footage from say today, and she just goes for life and just cuts it up and produces a couple of videos.
Yep.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we shoot it, we film it, and then we upload it into Google Drive. And we've gotten better. It's like anything. It's just like PPF. Like it took us some time to really get good at it and figure out our rhythm. Um,
Yeah.
it's funny. Like everyone, with everything new, they want it to be just like smooth sailing right off the bat. It's like
Yeah.
that doesn't exist with anything.
Yep.
Everything is going to be a little tricky at first. You got to learn it. So we, just like with Lorraine, took us some time to kind of get our rhythm, figure out what kind of content we liked. Just like with you guys, you were doing it
Yep.
for a while, just posting shiny cars, and now you're like, well, we really want to focus on, showing some of the behind the scenes with the guys, and it's
Yep.
the same thing. So yeah, we upload it into Google Drive, and then usually we have like a one voiceover we do per week. So I record just talking on this mic, and then she lays B-roll over. Um, and I always have like a hook. So like today's video was 3 things that determine the price of an interior detail. I recorded that on this mic, and then I uploaded. I actually used the same software for the podcast. It's Riverside.
Yep.
Um, and then I uploaded that into Google Drive, and then she will just go in and find B-roll from our past weeks to lay over that. So we do one voiceover. We try to do like 2 or 3 talking videos where like I'm either explaining a situation we've got in the shop, like
Yep.
here's how we solved a particular problem, and that's quite random, like even to that's a good example of something I like. I wish it was more structured. I wish we knew going into the week what problems we were going to have come up. That would be good content, but we
Yep.
don't. It oftentimes is stuff that comes up spur of the moment. You're like, oh my gosh, this would be great content, and we didn't know we were going to get into that.
Yeah.
So we grab the camera, think about a quick hook, and then the middle you can kind of fill in a little bit easier. You don't want to ramble too much, and then you
Yep.
close it out with a call to action. Hey, if you're interested in this type of service, give us a call. We'd be happy to do a free test spot on your vehicle or give you a free quote or whatever it is.
Yep.
So we do like 2 or 3 videos like that. A really
Hmm.
easy video to do is just asking everyone in the team like a question. Like what's one piece of advice you have for other detailers out there, or like what's one thing you wish our customers knew, or like
Yep.
um, what's your favorite place to eat in Springfield? Like just building
Yep.
that relationship with our customers.
Yeah. Love it.
Super easy to do
Yep.
those kinds of videos.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. We when I didn't mention before, the thing that started the whole Benny thing off and banter, we used to do on a Friday, and that's where our engagement started. What's Benny having for lunch today? And we'd do a poll on an Instagram story, and it would be, 3 or 4 different things, and then people would vote, and they loved it. And then whatever you had for lunch, I would film. We ended up going out. If you went out or had a sandwich, we would film that. And if someone got it correct 4 weeks in a row, we'd give them a voucher or something like that. And people loved it. Just simple things like that, so that's where it all started. Actually, the videos and bringing Benny on as the main man and stuff like that. So yeah, simple things can create engagement.
Was he pretty like against that? Was in the beginning? Was Benny
Hated it.
like, yeah?
Hated it. I said, "Come on," because I think he was 16 or 17, I think at the time, and he would just cringe and walk away. And I said, "Mate, people love it. Just show me what you're eating. That's all you've got to do, and I'll do the rest." No, no, no. But now he walks through the workshop, the chest out a little bit,
Yeah, that's so funny.
yeah. So it's changed a lot. Yeah, he's growing up, and yeah, he's loving it. Yeah,
Once people start to recognize him coming in the shop, he's like, oh,
it's
this is too bad after all.
it's insane. I hate saying it in front of him, but I see people walk in and they look around and and they love the other boys as well. But Benny's sort of the one that's been there from the start. They'll spot Benny, and you can see the eyes open up, and they'll whisper to them, "That's Benny over there. That's him." Well, what are you having for lunch today, Benny? And all that kind of stuff. So it got pretty big there for a while. So yeah, he's loving it now. Yeah.
That's funny, man. Well, what things are on your radar for the next few months? Like as far as like, do you have anything specifically that you guys are really starting to focus on? I know you're starting window tinting ads, um,
Yep.
potentially starting to roll out some PPF ads too as you guys kind of
Yep.
continue to get the hang on that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. They're the main ones. Is to probably continue to become quicker at those two service offers, the PPF and the window tint. Just continually ramp that up, reinforce, consolidate. and then have the meta ads running alongside those. So I think we've got a real opportunity to ramp that up. I also want to have a conscious effort on developing the boys. So, we've spoken about if there are particular elements of the business that you want to understand for your development. Do you want to understand the accounting software a little bit more? Do you want to understand Go High Level and how the mechanics of that works? Do you want to spend time, understanding the meta ads and what Daniel is doing in the background around optimization? So it's more about I'm really conscious that I don't want my boys just to be known, Phil and Nick, they're good on the polisher, and that's their kit, that's their skill set, and that's it. I want them to develop holistically, so when and if they do move on into another area or find another job, they've got a broad skill set. So it's incumbent upon me to develop those boys, not only on a tool kind of thing. And yeah, next year, I've got to decide, whether we continue to ramp up and maybe get another shop nearby, just to create space. And I'm in sort of two minds at the moment, or whether we sort of cap it at that and keep going. But yeah, PPF and Window Tint, be known as the one-stop shop in our local area for all things car protection. Just continue on the way we're going. Yeah.
Yeah. We've been doing the two shop thing for 2 months now. And
Yep.
man, I'll say that it's tough, man. You're going the back and forth, and I wish everything was
Yeah.
under one roof.
One.
A lot of times, just because I wish that when a job comes in to get detailed or it's getting
Yep.
ceramic coated at the detailing shop, I wish that those people could see the window tint work going down right next to them, and I
Yeah.
could like take them right next to it.
Yeah.
I wish I just have the expertise from both of the teams there, the window tinting guys and then the detailing guys, all under one roof to answer questions for customers. And also just
Yeah.
making it feel a little bit more like a part of each other. Like we obviously all know we're a team, but sometimes whenever you're not seeing Chris because he's at the tint shop, you forget that like, oh, there's a body over there, maybe two, doing work, and like it's important to be talking about tint to our customers, letting them know this is something we do. Um, and if he was there in the shop with you, I think it'd be easier to do that.
Yeah, and pick up if someone's not having a good day. You've got to have that engagement with your boys and your girls, and yeah, being another shot, you're not seeing those sort of visual cues. It's funny, Josh, about that second shot. I saw a thing on Instagram, a recommended Chat GPT prompt to move Chat GPT away from being your cheerleader and telling you everything that's rainbows and unicorns. So you can actually tell your Chat GPT to be, I forget the prompt, but it says, you need to be a ruthless, critical mentor of mine and tell me if my ideas suck and tell me why my ideas suck, and then help brainstorm my ideas to become bulletproof in the future. So I put that in mine last night, and it said, got it. Are you ready for me? Or, it just was like a totally different tone. And it said, now hit me with an idea. And I said, I'm thinking about opening up a second shop. Talk to me. And then it torched me as to why I shouldn't, because it's got to know me pretty well, and it knows my staff members, it knows my social media, it knows my website, it knows my Google reviews, it knows how many Google reviews I've got. And then it reeled off all these things. Why I'd be so stupid to open up a second shop because you haven't even capitalized on certain things in your current shop. You don't do this, you don't do that. And I went, whoa. And then it said, now do you want a 120-day plan to address what you're doing wrong in your current environment before even thinking about a second shop? And I just went, yep. And then it went, and gave me a 120-day plan. And there were some magnificent things in there that I'm super pumped about that I'm going to start working on today that it knew that I wasn't doing. It was unreal.
What things were on the 120-day plan?
So it's things like maximizing, say, your CRM, and it somehow knows what I'm doing in my CRM, and what I'm not doing. And it said, you're not maximizing its functionality properly. You need to do this. You don't. And it said something like, I know for a fact you don't upsell and you don't like it. You've got money staying on the table because 99% of work you do are on brand new cars. You don't talk to the customers about PPF. You don't text them about that. You don't have videos prepared which says, "Hey, do you do you realise that this particular is a high traffic area in your car?" It reeled off so many things that I wasn't doing. I could email you this list, and it's probably relevant to a lot of people. But it even spoke about my stories and that I should be doing more content around. I can't remember exactly what it said, but A, B, and C. It said you need to ramp up your stories. Your reels are good, but you need to hone in on that. And yeah, I can't remember. It was just I'm pumped when I was reading. I go, "You're right. That's right. Geez, that would make a difference." So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff. So it's a good prompt to put in.
Mm, yeah. I have a few times ChatGPT will spit something out and I'll go, yeah, you're 100% wrong on this. And it'll be like, oh, wow, that's really helpful. Thank you. And it'll like adjust how it thinks. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I would never do that or say that. So, uh, don't ever suggest that to me again.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it'll like take that into account. You have to catch it sometimes. Like it'll start,
Yeah,
drifting down a path. It's like, that's not quite me. But,
yeah, yeah,
like for example,
exactly.
maybe with the upselling situation, it's like, okay, it knows that maybe you need to talk more about your other services. But what it doesn't understand is that you're not confident enough yet to be able to upsell or talk about PPF. So it's
Yeah,
like, well, what steps, that's something like you have to critically think through and be like, okay, well, what steps do we need to take as a team to get confident enough to where we
yeah.
feel good talking about PPF?
Yeah, that's funny. It said at one point, "Aaron, you've got to realise you've only got one Benny too." I said, "But yeah, I've got a Phil and a Nick as well." So yeah, it was quite. It's actually fascinated on Benny as well. It talks about him all the time, and we've got Phil and Nick as well. It's not just Benny. So yeah, it's quite funny. But yeah, no, I've got some really good ideas out of it. So a good prompt, get it to be a bit more harsh with you.
Yeah. Right on, man. Well, Aaron, thanks for coming on, dude. It's been great. Appreciate your time and wish you the best of luck at the end of 2025 and going into 2026 as well.
Appreciate it, Josh. Thanks for having me on. Love what you're doing, and thanks for sharing those gold nuggets. And yeah, I wish you well for next year as well, mate. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. And thanks everyone for listening.